Hey, what's going on? Had to switch up the scenery from what we're used to. So we're outside now, but gonna get into some boxing talk. A lot of cool things to talk about. Before I get started, wait for you guys to get here and start sharing the link. Let's see, hold on. Let me open another link in my tab so I can chat with you guys. It's kind of like spur of the moment, so hit the mute button so I don't hear myself talking. Oh, what's up, Pablo? Let's see. I'm gonna go inform the masses that we're live. What the hell is the other tag? Hold on. This joint is confusing. Right, oh, here it is. All right. Give me like 5 minutes, guys, before I really start talking. Right. I think these headphones look kind of funny on my head. They're about as big as my head. All right, so I guess wait for people to get here because it is what it is. People will come, people will go. But yeah, man, just wanted to talk some boxing. A lot of things going on. We have see the only remaining fights we have this year are, I believe, Noye is fighting this weekend. So Nayoa Noye be fighting. I'll probably cover that. But I guess before we get into the fights, I'll tell you guys about the couple of meeting videos that I have planned. I got to do end of the year compilation. I got a video with Shannon Briggs and all our interviews we did. I got a couple like historical like fight reviews that I'm gonna do before the year's over, and then what else? Can't remember what else, but I probably have like 5 or 6 videos left that I'm gonna do this year, and then we're gonna get started with our 2017. But I guess as far as boxing news goes now, we'll start with, well, actually, before we get to the boxing news, today, my friend, I don't know if you guys know, but Paul, who I interview on the channel quite frequently, like in South Florida today, we had Danny Garcia. He had a little meet and greet, and him and Alex, who also, you guys watch the channel, I interviewed him. They went there and Danny signed some autographs, and Shannon Briggs showed up. Nobody was there to get footage. I was kind of pissed that I couldn't get footage, and I had to, I was at work, so I wasn't able to actually get that. Hey, Strictly Boxing News. What's up, man? What's going on, guys? It's your boy BT, and I'm here to talk to the thousands True School Sports and subscribers. What's going on, guys? Yep, that's the trademark. We got to put a trademark on that. But yeah. By the way, Strictly Boxing News. Loved your. Dude, I was just watching your. I was editing videos, and I was actually watching your video about the Mayweather mentality and how it's kind of like killed the sport. It was like 3 hours long. I got through about 2 hours of it. I was editing videos. I was cleaning my house yesterday, so yeah, very good stuff. You're actually becoming. I don't know if I told you this, but you're becoming slowly one of my favorite channels. So just keep it up, man. I really like what you're doing. But as far as boxing goes, we'll start with, I guess, the first fight going on next year, which is James Degale Jack. There's a lot of there's a lot of that fight's in my opinion, because people are so caught up with Thurman Garcia and then Golovkin Jacobs, and even Broner Granados to a point that that fight's kind of getting overlooked, and I think that fight's going to be really, really good. It's going to reveal a lot to us about both those guys and where they're at in their careers. Like, you're going to have Degale potentially putting himself like 10 on the pound-for-pound list, and for Badou Jack, it's his chance to become like the guy at 168, and who knows where he can go from there. That actually would put, people aren't talking about it, but that would actually put like Mayweather Promotions, and the Mayweather stable, in a very good position. Mayweather actually really can't afford Badou Jack to lose this fight. I think Mayweather Promotions as a whole would take a step back if he does lose that fight. But people really aren't talking about like the stylistic matchup. You have James Degale, obviously a guy who's very awkward, throws punches from a lot of angles, tends to fade later on in his fights. Jack's kind of someone who gets better as the fights go on. So with that being said, it's definitely one where we're going to get a lot revealed to us about the character of both fighters. And I think it's going to be a great way to start the year. The winner of that fight, who knows, man? You might see Golovkin take on one of those guys. If the opportunity presents itself and all the other guys at 160 turn him down, we might see kind of like another Kell situation to where his hand is forced to take a fight that maybe he wouldn't have taken otherwise. But aside from that, let's see what else we got going on. Let's go through the boxing news. What's on boxingscene.com? Let's see. Oh yeah, I don't know if you guys saw this. I got a video coming out on this later, so you guys make sure you check it out. But Tyson Fury is supposedly coming back to the boxing ring. He's training already. He's saying April or May should be his return, and that's great news, man. I'm happy about that. Like, Tyson Fury coming back to boxing, that's great for the division, heavyweight division. That's great for like just boxing from an entertainment standpoint, because at the end of the day, while this is a business, it also is the entertainment business, just with your fisticuff and your fists. So I think Tyson Fury is going to give that element of kind of being a free spirit and someone who isn't afraid to speak his mind on certain things. I'm not really expecting for him to jump right into a title fight. You would figure Tyson's going to ease his way in and kind of just like ease his way back in, because he had mentally he hasn't been there for quite some time. He had issues with cocaine and other things, and now physically as well. He was out of shape, overweight, so that takes time to get back to where he used to be. So at some point the plan for Fury would be my hope for Fury would be that he gets the Wilder fight. That's the fight that a lot of us wanted to see. They had the whole back and forth after the Arthur Spilka knockout, which I believe was in January, if I'm not mistaken. So that's something that's got to happen. Probably you would be led to believe early 2018 if everything goes perfectly for Fury, because you wouldn't expect him to, after 2 fights or 1 fight, go in there and fight a Wilder. If he does, then hey, more credit to him, because it is what it is. And if I'm speaking kind of monotone for a reason, it's because I'm outside and I feel kind of weird. But hey, it is what it is. Gotta get used to your surroundings, I guess. But See what else we got going on boxing? Anything? Any questions you guys got? Anything you guys want to talk about? Leave in the comments in the chat thing. I'm actually like looking at it right now. So if you guys want to talk boxing, just, any opinions, debates, anything, put it in the comments, and we will speak about them. See what else we got going on boxing. Andy Ruiz Jr. Returns to Big Bear. What's this? Let's see what's this about. Good for him. Let's see. Yeah. So I guess Andy Ruiz will be training once again at Big Bear with Abel Sanchez at the Summit Gym. So that's good for him. You know, a guy like Ruiz, he's someone who always has struggled with his weight. Weight's a big thing for Ruiz. So for him, you would like, ideally, for him to keep his weight down. And, you know, Big Bear with the incline roads and the thin air they have over there, guys like Golovkin and Roman Gonzalez and Murat Kasiev, you know, these are guys that have benefited from training there. So hopefully, you know, it improves Ruiz's physical performance moving forward. And, you know, I think that's good for him. Kudos to him for going back there. I think Abel will get him right and prepared to compete in the heavyweight division and potentially for another world title shot. I thought he did a good job against Parker. I know he had to drop a lot of weight, but he could definitely fight. For those people who thought, you know, he was going to get blown out by Parker or didn't have a chance, you know, I think he gave a good account of himself that night against Parker. Let's see what else we got going on. So yeah, Andy Ruiz, we're going back to Big Bear to train. We got let's see. Jarrell Miller hoping to resolve promotional issues, manager says. What's this about? Yeah, we gotta see Jarrell more in the ring. That's definitely a guy that needs to be fighting more frequently against top opposition on network television. Juan Pablo, Andre Ward is the best. Yeah, okay. Calm down, Juan Pablo. Calm down. Jarrell Miller hoping to resolve promotional issues, manager says. Let's see, it's been more than 4 months. Basically, I guess Jarrell Miller was saying that there was an issue with Saltia Promotions that they weren't paying. They didn't pay. There was a breach of contract, and they didn't pay Jarrell Miller a certain amount of money. And he's complaining about that. I guess I don't know. It's typical boxing promotional crap. What else is going on in boxing? Thoughts on Wilder disrespecting Mike Tyson? And that question is from Mark Parmley. Well, Mark, I didn't really hear anything about Mike Tyson or Wilder disrespecting Mike Tyson. If you could please inform me on what he said, I could give you my take on it there, or forward me to an article what he said, because I'm not really sure what you're referring to. But I guess I'll look it up while, you know, since you told me. Let me look it up. You know, but it wouldn't be the first time Wilder disrespected a legend. He disrespected Joe Louis, saying that he could knock out Joe Louis. Let's see what he said. According to Deontay Wilder's logic. Miley L, what's up, champ? Good to see you, man. What's up? Anything you want to talk about boxing wise? Kind of just doing a spur of the moment thing. I was here working on my computer, so I said, hey, let's talk some boxing. Get some good things going on here. But yeah, Mark, what did Wilder say about Mike Tyson? I'm gonna look it up. You tell me. I mean, really, that's the last guy you should be disrespecting. That was like Mike Tyson, one of the best heavyweights ever as far as talent goes. Frederick Dorito, or I don't know how to say it. Excuse me if I'm saying your name wrong. Did you see the video I posted on your Andre Ward is a disgrace video? I am not sure, honestly. I don't know. Which video was it? Because I get a lot of videos. I mean, I watch so many. If I didn't see it, I can go check it out. I'll go check it out. Miley L. Floyd fighting Mikey Garcia. That's not going to happen at all. Floyd is at a point now in his career where he's going to not. First of all, for him to become a retirement, it's got to be something to where the numbers are crazy. Like the figures got to make sense, and not just that. Mikey Garcia is a young fighter, tough fighter, talented fighter. He would definitely. Probably, I don't know. I don't want to say he'd beat Floyd, but it'd be a really hard fight for Floyd. And Floyd's always been a guy who takes, high reward, minimum risk type of fights. So no, I don't really think that's gonna happen. The punch count video, the punch count video you're referring to, Frederick? Was it the I forgot what the name, something studio, and it was like round by round. It was scoring it in real time, round by round. I think I saw that recently. If it wasn't that one, then it might be referring to the Arterias boxing video. I saw that one as well. Either one, I saw both of them. I'm not really sure which one you're talking about, but I've seen both. I've seen two punch count videos. I saw the Ned's studio and then the Arterias boxing one. And he said, yeah. I saw it. Yeah, man, I mean, when you watch the punch count videos, like, it really kind of illustrates even more how Ward lost to Kovalev. And, like I said, a lot of people, I get animated because I'm passionate about the sport. I just want to see the just decisions happen. But I give Waters respect. Like, he got up, he was able to neutralize Kovalev and take the right hand away for a couple rounds and win a couple rounds in the middle rounds. But really, he got outboxed and outclassed for the majority of that fight. So I think he should give him the rematch. I don't want to get too far into that again because I feel like I've been talking about it. I'm beginning to sound like a broken record, but yeah, that is what it is. Yo, did you hear me? Miley L, did you hear me? Yeah, I heard. I saw you. I don't know. Oh, Floyd was spying on Mikey Garcia a couple months back. Yeah, like he said he was gonna sign him, and then he went to the Robert Garcia boxing gym. That I do remember. I mean, I guess if it makes sense, they did fight, but he would have a scattering report. But still, I don't think it's a fight he'd take. Reversely, what's up, man? Good to see you. He said, how long do you think it'll take for GGG to knock out Daniel Jacobs? I would say I'll give Jacobs some respect. I'll say he gets him out of there in the 7th round. I think Jacobs is world-class skill and just power will be able to keep GGG honest for a couple rounds. But I think GGG's going to fight off the back foot, break him down systematically, and but in the middle round, so class will be getting the show, and he'll get him out of there by the 7th. Yeah, I was waiting. I was wanting that fight for so long. I convinced one of my friends to watch it. It was 6-1 winning in France, so I was disgusted with the rivalry. So unfair. Yeah, man. I mean, I was frustrated about it too. Like, that's a fight I wanted to see, and it sucks for boxing. The boxing has so many black eyes. Like, we've had so many duds. We had Mayweather, Pacquiao, and then to have that, it just wasn't a good look. And I didn't know you were from France, so shout out to France. I've never been to France, so maybe one day I go out there to France. It's funny too because at the WBC convention, I actually met I can't remember her name, but I met this woman's boxer from France. It's okay. It's okay. How long? Thank you. All right. Let's see. Floyd thinks it's an easy pick. He'll go blindside. It'll be everybody surprised. Yeah, I guess. Miley L says, "Why is it dark there?" Well, it's dark here because I'm in South Florida, and I mean, it really isn't as dark as it looks on camera. There's actually a lot of lights where I'm at. I'm at a coffee shop right now, so they're on a ton of it's not that dark. I'm in South Florida, so that's where we're at. So, do you know how I know these things? No, Miley L. If you could educate me on how you know these things, that'd be great. How you know these things? I'm in Al Heyman circle. Oh, okay. Shout out to you, man. Shout out to shout out to Al Heyman. Um, yeah, I mean, hey, if you got anything else you want to share, that's cool, man. I'm all ears. We're here to talk boxing. I can't give details. Well, we know Floyd is very calculated, so if he's fighting Mikey, he knows something or he sees something. Mikey's not too happy, or Floyd? Is Floyd not the happy? Who was the unhappy one? And Mark said it was on the Boxing News 24 website, I think. Well, I'll look for it. I'll look for it later on for sure, Mark. Where's everybody? Just because I'm curious, where's everybody messaging me from? Like, what city are you guys in right now? Right now, I'm in the great city of well, I'm in South Florida. I'm in Dania right now. Great city of Dania, as you guys hear me say at the end of every single video. Al Heyman hopes this year will be a lot better. Yeah, I think really honestly with the year they had, there's nowhere to go but up. And I think I give Al a lot of flack. I give PBC a lot of flack in the past, but I'm excited to see them move forward, and I want to see. I'm happy with the fights they made with Degale, Jack, and Broner, Granados, and Garcia, and all those fights. But yeah, let me guys know where you're messaging me from. What cities, what states, countries. Los Angeles. All right, so shout out to LA. I just went there in September. Great city. I can't wait to go back to LA at some point. Mark Pomley, Newcastle, England. Oh wow. So Mark, I've actually this is not boxing related, but I've actually started watching soccer. Like I got a lot of friends that follow the English Premier League. I know that you got I think you guys have Newcastle United. That's what it's called over there. That the team you guys have, Newcastle United. Yeah, Newcastle United, and then team I picked, my favorite team in that league is Everton. I've become a big time Everton fan, like Lukaku and all those guys, So I've been getting into soccer slowly but surely. But yeah, that was random, but anyway. Reversely, Chesterfield, Virginia. Shout out to Virginia. I've never really spent any extensive time in Virginia. I just went to a Greyhound there a couple times, so shout out to Virginia. Miley L, you're a big fan of Chocolatito. I've been paying attention. Yeah, man, I'm a real big fan of Roman Gonzalez. I like what he's doing in the sport. I know a lot of people right now have problems with him wanting more money. And I think he's earned it. Like maybe $1 million might be a bit too much, although I do think he deserves it. But I think $700,000, $800,000 would be a fair offer because Roman has cleared 4-weight classes. He's fought on the road. He's fought in different countries. He's taking short money. I think it's time for him. He's in that part of his career where he wants to cash out. He's 30 years old, fighting in the lower weight classes where that's a very old age. So, yeah, man, I like what Roman represents in boxing, fighting the best, taking the toughest challenges, and just, greatness, overall greatness. I think he's one of the best fighters of his generation, easily. But why do you think people say Inoue would crush him? How do you feel about Inoue's fight this weekend? And this is from Reverse Lee. That's the question he's asking me. Now, Reverse Lee, as far as Inoue fighting Roman, I think the reason people say that he would crush Roman, I think there's a lot of things that are working in his favor. Obviously, you have youth. That's number one. 2, you have size. I watched, I was at the Gonzalez Cuadras fight, so when I saw them standing next to each other, Inoue had a significant height advantage. So there's those things he's got working for him, and he's definitely got a lot of power. And people see what Cuadras did to him. They know that Cuadras isn't necessarily the biggest puncher at that weight class. He's a big puncher, but not the biggest puncher. And, a lot of people think Inoue would hurt him. I think Inoue could hurt Roman. I just think right now Roman's too experienced, and his ability to back people up and just, in an underrated sense, Roman can fight different ways. He can back you up, he can pressure you. He can fight on the back foot in spurts. I think right now his experience and versatility would be a bit too much for Inoue, but if they make that fight a year from now, it might be a different story. As far as his fight this weekend, I haven't really dug in too deep as far as who his opponent is, so I can't really give you an honest assessment. But I'm looking forward to watching him fight, and once I have a more honest assessment on that fight, I'll probably make a video on it, so stay tuned for that. Mark Parmalee, Newcastle was my local team. They got relegated from the Premier League last season. Yeah. I don't really know much about the Premier League. I'm still learning, honestly. I did know about Newcastle United. So, shout out to them and shout out to you over there at Newcastle. Honestly, I'm hoping sometime, in England. I want to go to England, cover a fight within the next year or two. That's a big goal of mine, to go to the UK. You guys, I love your guys' passion for boxing. So I want to go there one day. And Everton, man. Shout out to the Toffees, Lukaku, all those guys. Everton ain't doing too well right now, but I like what they got going on, and that's my team, man. I'm sticking with them. So, see, he got 300 first HBO on GG card, and they talking about Roman. Yeah, that's what he got around. I think that was for the last fight he had with Quadras was he got 400,000. I believe he should get like 800,000. Somewhere in that range would be better for him. Frederick says, bro, what do you think about Alexander Usyk's style? Did you know he wants to make it to heavyweight after? Well, Frederick, if I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong, but I believe I heard Roy Jones and HBO say that he won his gold medal at heavyweight. Now, I could be wrong, but that might be true. I believe he might have won his gold medal at heavyweight. But as far as him as a fighter, I like Usyk. I think he's still green. As far as the professional ranks go, that's definitely a sharp transition. And there's some things you got to learn. Like, he's one of them guys, kind of like Roy Jones, in the sense that, like, he fights a lot of feeling. A lot of guys thrive off of feelings and kind of vibes in the ring. He's kind of one of them. And I like his style. I like the fact that, he's very active with his punches and all that. So we'll see, man. We'll see, man. I like Usyk. I think, he's got to get a couple more fights before he takes on one of the top guys. I think, I would like to see him get in a fight or two more. Maybe one more fight, and then after another fight, take on Krzysztof Kowalski, because that's a fight he could probably win. Let's see. Dominic Wade with 500K. Alexander can beat Kovalev. Kove said that. He's Kove's friend. Kove only got the straight right. That's it. No uppercut or anything. Curve, he said, I think he needs Quadras. Quadras didn't even have a scratch on him. You was there watching live. Yeah. I mean, that might be the case, but Roman was, for the majority of that fight, I would say the first 6 rounds, Roman was backing Quadras up, and he had Quadras on his bicycle. It wasn't until about the 7th or 8th round that Quadras really started to come on. So even though basically towards the end of the fight, he was beginning to bust up Roman with some hard shots, I still think Roman was able to win the majority of the rounds. Let's see. Heavyweight, but not super heavyweight. I saw a fight in amateur. He totally destroyed a Rio silver medalist. Pretty impressive. Yeah, I mean, Usyk has an incredible pedigree. I mean, I've heard people even go as far as saying with Usyk that they think he might be the best cruiserweight since Evander Holyfield, which is very, very high praise. So hopefully he can live up to that. His last fight with Nchunu, I think he displayed a lot of really good patience. Which, the patience I saw with him again in the Nchunu fight, because Nchunu wasn't really opening up, and he was able to display a lot of patience and eventually break him down. So I was impressed with that more than anything when I saw him fight against Nchunu on the Hopkins-Smith undercard. Everyone say Floyd never fought anyone in their prime. Well, he fought Castillo. You Floyd haters can shut up. Well, no disrespect to your boy Floyd, Molly L, but Floyd was very calculated, and the majority of the guys that he did fight, were not in their prime. I guess if you want to count Castillo, that's fine, but Castillo was never an A-level guy. All the A-level guys that Floyd had a chance to fight, like Cotto, Pacquiao, Mosley, he fought them outside of the prime. I think that's the major criticism people have with Floyd Mayweather. Everyone says Floyd never fought on You got any thoughts on Chris Eubank Jr.? It's causing a lot of debate here in the UK at the moment. Obviously, he's avoiding Gennady Golovkin. He has burned bridges with major promoters and has now signed a PPV deal with ITV. Well, I didn't know that last part, so thank you for dropping that knowledge on me, Mark. I didn't know that he signed a PPV, exclusive pay-per-view deal, so thank you for that. But as far as Eubank Jr., he's got a lot of potential, good size, can definitely punch. To be honest, I haven't really seen a whole lot of him. I've only seen little clips. I have not really yet to really get deep into his soccer, so I couldn't give you an honest assessment on Eubank Jr. But I think he's way too green to be fighting Golovkin. I think he gets sparked if he fought him right now, and he doesn't want to fight him. There was an obvious reluctancy for him and his dad to sign a contract. But just judging from the outside looking in, he strikes me as one of those guys that his career would be better off if his dad wasn't with managing him or in his career. Didn't have such a say in his career. But that's the impression I get. Let's see what else we got. What else we got here? Reversely, Carlos was kind of just filling his arms out of desperation. Yeah, I mean, I try to tell people that Carlos threw some nice flurries, but there are a lot of arm punches that weren't necessarily like hurting Chocolatito. It wasn't until later rounds when Chocolatito gassed out that he started to have any success, and a lot of that could be attributed to Roman fighting that being his first fight at 115. Now that his body's gonna be more accustomed to that weight, I think we're gonna see a better Chocolatito, and he'll be able to really have a better performance. But I want to see the fight happen primarily on the Golovkin Jacobs undercard. That'd be ideal. Eubank fights bums all day. We call them bums in the USA. That's true. It's fighting a terrible fight for the IBO title. Interview with him is down. A lot of heat. Yeah, I'm gonna check that out. That interview. I haven't actually I saw he had a recent interview. Like I was watching IFL TV interviews last night. Like I watched the and a Carl Froch interview they did recently. But I'm gonna watch the one I saw one they did along with Eubank Jr. I'm not sure if that's the one you're referring to, but I'm gonna check that out. What is funny is Eubank actually has a good chance to get to Golovkin with his talent, but his cowardly thoughts get in his way. Yeah, I can see that. I can see that with his size and things of that nature. He could give Golovkin problems, but yeah, a lot of boxing is psychological, and I think it's funny because one person if you guys follow me, I interview Shannon Briggs quite frequently. I'm supposed to actually interview him again really soon. Once I can get there down to the gym. But I interviewed him one time about Golovkin fighting Eubank Jr., and he wanted to see that fight. And he said that he thought it was a smart business move that Golovkin didn't take the fight with Eubank Jr. So I found that interesting. Miley L. But Roman looks like he was working harder than War vs. Kovalev. Roman looked desperate against Quadras. Well, in all fairness, Roman didn't get the luxury of having 2 or 3 tune-ups to get ready, to get accustomed to the weight before fighting Quadras. He went right in there. So, yeah, of course he's going to work harder. Quadras was significantly bigger, more accustomed to the weight, younger than him. So there were a lot more advantages that Roman's opponent had than I would say even Ward had. But I mean, I guess if you want to say that, you could say that. But no, I don't really think it's a bad thing. It was a good fight. It was a good fight. Honestly, it's the best sporting event I've ever been to in person. Growing up here in South Florida, I've been to a ton of baseball games, Marlins games, Florida Panthers games, Dolphins games, Heat games. But that to me was the best sporting event I've ever been to. Just hear to feel the passion of the Nicaraguan fans, Mexican fans. It was 7,000 people in there, but it felt like 17,000. You had to be there. It was amazing. Frederick Dorito, I don't know how to say your name. Did you watch the Olympic Games? A Frenchman named Tony Yoka won the gold medal in the super heavyweight first time, but I think he's going to get destroyed in the pros. That's sad. Now, to answer your question, Frederick, I did watch the Olympics, but I watched select fights. I watched Michael Conlon, Shakur Stevenson, and Clarissa Shields. And outside of that, I really didn't get a chance to watch too many other people. But I feel like I heard about Tony Yoka. I remember there was a fight between a Frenchman and someone else that everybody kept talking about. I don't know if that was him, but we see it all the time, especially with heavyweight Olympic gold medalists. A lot of guys we see win gold medals at heavyweight, they get to the pros and they really don't know what to. They don't accustom themselves to the pro game, and basically they're not nothing as pros. They don't do anything as pros. So he wouldn't be the first, and he's not gonna be the last. True, good answer. Yeah, man. What are some things you guys looking forward to in boxing?
I got a quick question for you.
What's up?
I never used a laptop. I'm thinking of getting one.
Okay.
Such a good one to get. Not that size.
A good one to get.
With like an i7 and all that stuff in it.
I would probably say like an HP computer. Like
HP?
Yeah, a computer. Or a Mac. I mean, they're expensive, but Macs are
better.
Macs are pretty good.
I have in my home PC. I got Windows. So if I use the Mac, is it like compatible with the Mac?
Nah, I don't think it is. I think you probably have to get an HP. Get an HP.
Thank you.
You missed nothing. The level was so low. Well, thank you, Frederick. But I'm gonna check out what's his name, Tony Oka. So I'm gonna say it again so I can remember. Tony Oka, heavyweight. Look at my list. I'll probably ask my boy Mr. Boxing today. He knows all the heavyweights. In your honest opinion, why would people put Guillermo Rigondeaux as number one? And this is a great question, and this is from Reverse Lee, so shout out to you. But the only reason people put Guillermo Rigondeaux as number one, it's very simple. It's the same reason they put Lomachenko number one, and it's a lot of it stems from amateur pedigree. And I think it's funny because when you look at boxing fans, right, when they perceive certain fighters, we tend to look at amateur guys with ridiculous amateur pedigree like in a higher light. So they can have longer periods of time being inactive, fighting guys who aren't maybe the best fighters, and still get critical acclaim from boxing fans. So that's kind of what's happening with Rigondeaux. He's one of the best amateurs of all time. He's clearly one of the most skilled fighters in the world, and he beat Nonito. He has one really great quality written on his resume, and people are just gonna continue to rest on those laurels, and they kind of they overlook at some of the terrible business decisions he's made, and even some of the ways he's been diluted and pricing himself out of fights. So they look at that, and that's what it is there. Just kind of the amateur pedigree and him having that one quality win, and then the perception of guys ducking him has people believing that he's number one. But I don't personally think he's number one. I took him off my pound for pound list. I once had him at like number 6. I believe something like that. But I took him off my most recent updated version of my pound for pound list because he has been active against top guys, and he's fighting this guy Flores. So we'll see how that goes. But I want to see him get one more big fight and see what he still has left in the tank. Frederick, and by the way, anybody who's currently watching this video, type down below where you're messaging me from, where you're watching this from, and just leave any questions down below, any suggestions for the channel you'd like, anything. Frederick Derrida, best heavyweight of all time for you. Who's the best heavyweight ever? No, obviously the easy answer would be Muhammad Ali, right? And I think, I'd probably lean towards Muhammad Ali. That's probably the easy answer is Muhammad Ali. He beat the best guys of his era. His era was the most loaded. But there's still a lot of things people kind of like overlook when it comes to Ali. Like, I'll give you an example. Like, he fought Doug Jones. He got a gift decision in the eyes of a lot of people in that fight. Same thing with Norton. He never gave Doug Jones a rematch, and he won on the fight listing when Doug Jones clearly should have got a rematch. So there's some gray areas even in Ali's career that you could nitpick at. So I could use that same criticism I used for Andre Ward and kind of use it against Ali, but I'm not going to. I think Ali has a legitimate case. Frederick says Lennox Lewis or Joe Louis. I think those are definitely both good picks. But honestly, I would say for me personally, and this is no knock on anybody else, and I know a lot of you guys aren't gonna agree with me, but I personally think that the best heavyweight of all time, is Larry Holmes. And I'm gonna tell you why. Because look, Larry Holmes, I mean, I think he was in an era where he was the first guy to come after Ali, and he had to kind of fill those shoes, and he beat the crap out of Ali when Ali was older. So a lot of the media hated him, a lot of the fans hated him. But take emotions aside, the guy was just a model of consistency. His jab to me is the best in history of heavyweight boxing, which alone puts him in the discussion for best heavyweight of all time from a skill standpoint. He showed the fact that he can be consistent defending his title just as much as anybody. He showed grit and determination, which is what you always want to see when he fought one of the hardest punches in history in Ernie Shavers and got up off the canvas to win. and I just feel like he doesn't get the credit he deserves. So I've always thought that Larry had a great case for being the number one, and to me, he was the best heavyweight. You guys could disagree with that, but that's my opinion. To be honest, guys, you know what's funny? And this is random. I'm kind of just talking, but I feel like a prime Rigondeaux, and I'm talking about the Rigondeaux that fought Holyfield in the very first fight, the one that beat Holyfield in the first fight. I think that version of Bo could have competed with any heavyweight ever. Prime for prime. That's just my opinion. I just think the size, the speed, the combination punching, the chin, he had it all, man. That version of Rigondeaux. Let's see. Ali's overrated in pure bias because he is part of history. Lewis and Lewis were the reigning king, undisputed. They have done more and were more dominant for me. Yeah, they got legitimate arguments. I'd probably say Joe, my opinion, has more of a case than Ali. Just because of the title defenses. Larry is one of my favorites, and along with Floyd Patterson. Yeah, Floyd Patterson, he's someone who I keep saying that I got to do more homework on, and I just haven't got around to it yet. But Floyd Patterson, from what I have researched, the guy was ridiculously fast for heavyweight. And Frederick said he's from Marseille, France. So shout out to France. Shout out to France, man. At some point, I want to go to France too. I gotta go to France. You guys got some beautiful women over there. Larry Holmes is a good choice. His jab is incredible. Bo is great too, but I'm sad he threw his belt in the garbage. I can't forget that. You know what's funny, Frederick? I don't know how closely or how long you've been following my YouTube channel or which interviews you've looked at, but I've interviewed Riddick Bo a couple times. I interviewed Riddick a couple times, and me and Riddick are like this. We're like good friends. He actually lives in the city I'm in, which is how at the end of my videos I'll say you can love me, you can hate me, but I'm just a kid from Dania. I live in Dania. Riddick Bo lives in Dania too, actually. Little known fact. In Riddick Bo and I, we talk. I saw him recently at the WBC convention, and I don't know if you saw my interview with him, but he said that the reason the fight didn't happen was because, hold on. Guys, Adrian Granados is calling me right now. It's funny. I'm not even joking. Adrian Granados is calling me on Facebook. I'm trying to interview him soon. He just messaged me. I'm going to call him in a minute or after I'm done with this. But anyway, I did an interview with Riddick Bo, and he was talking about the WBC and how Lennox was using the WBC and their date to get him to fight him by a certain time. It sounded like a pretty BS reason, but from what I remember reading and articles that I researched on Facebook, I believe that Riddick wanted a 90-10 split to fight Lewis, and Lennox wasn't having none of that. He wanted a fair offer, and Riddick was trying to get back at him. He still has a lot of bad blood from the Olympics, and to this very day, he still does not like Lennox Lewis that much. So it is what it is. It's sad that fight never happened. To me personally, and I know a lot of you guys out there may disagree, but I feel like Riddick Bo would have beat Lennox Lewis, honestly, because I feel like his style was more custom for the pro ranks. Number one, he was a better inside fighter than Lennox. He can match Lennox's jab. He had better speed. The only thing that I could see being a problem for him in a fight with Lennox would be the fact that whether they were big or whether they were short, Riddick always had a tendency to, fight down shorter opponents. Well, that doesn't really apply to Lennox. I think that fight would have been more of a chess match, and he working on the inside, working on the outside. I think Riddick just at that point in time, in 1992, when the fight was first supposed to happen, Riddick would have beat him. Now later on, when he gets a Stewart, then it's probably a different story. Riddick had been, not disciplined. His weight fluctuated up and down. His skills had deteriorated. So that Lennox in the mid '90s, I think beats Bo. But at their best, Bo was best versus Lennox best. I still would pick Bo, honestly. I think he probably, as far as talent goes, not resume, but talent, he had the talent to be the best heavyweight of all time. Even better than Bo, better than Ali, or better than Lewis, better than Ali. Just because he had everything. Lewis had a lot of things, but I don't think Lewis had the chin Riddick Bowe had. And that's evident. Look at the Hasim Rockman fight. You know, Bowe was taking shots from Galato, who I believe to be a bigger puncher than Rockman. But that's my opinion. Anyway, reversely, why do you think people defend cowardly actions from people like Andre Ward, Canelo Alvarez, and Danny Garcia? Now, this is a good question, reverse. I'm going to address each fighter individually. Now, we'll start with Andre Ward. With Andre Ward, you know, we got to call things black and white. The fact of the matter is, you know, in boxing, particularly in our YouTube boxing community, we have a lot of racist people, and they have their own agendas. And you know, they don't want to see Kovalev get another chance because they know what happened that night. They know that Kovalev won. And aside from that, they want someone that you know they perceive, you know, because Andre Ward really is just as white as he's probably more white than he is black. You know, they want to see someone that they perceive to be one of their own on top of boxing, which is there's no problem with that. But at the expense of the destruction of the sport, that's where I get the problem. That's what pisses me off. So there's that. There's the fact that he's a gold medalist. There's a whole lot of reasons. They're just fanboys. For Canelo, if they defend Canelo, they just don't know anything about boxing, and they should refrain from watching it. They just don't like it. For all three of those fighters, I would say, particularly Ward and Alvarez, it would stem from the hatred towards the rival fighter. So if you're an Andre Ward fan, you defend him because you hate Kovalev. If you're a Canelo Alvarez fan, you defend him because you hate GGG. In the case of Danny Garcia, there aren't really a whole lot of DSG fans that I've come across on the YouTube box community. I'm sure he has a good fan base. You know, my roommate Paul, who I've done interviews with. You guys have seen him. Some of you may have seen him. Maybe you haven't. He's a huge Danny Garcia fan. I deal with a Danny Garcia fan on a daily basis. But as far as Danny Garcia, I think out of all those, he's probably the guy you ironically could defend the most because he's actually done the most. You know, with the resume, with beating Khan, with basically like, with him just basically like, you know, fighting as an underdog, proving himself. Now he's gonna re-legitimize himself by beating Thurman, but he's actually. So you got to give him more credit than those other guys. But you know what? I'm going to ask you guys a question. Before I address the other questions, because like I told you guys, Adrian Granados, the 140-pound fighter who's fighting Adrian Broner on February 18th, I messaged him earlier, and he messaged me that back on Facebook just now, and I trying to get him for an interview. So would you guys like to see me interview Adrian Granados? Let me know in the comments down below. And if so, what are some things you'd like to see me message or ask Adrian Granados? What are some things you'd like to know? Leave that in the comments. Shout out! Hey, my dad is here. Everybody say hi to my dad. He's Nelson Taylor, my dad. Shout out to my pops. Kell Brook to me gave GGG a good aggressive fight, even though he lost. What other fighter can give GGG trouble? Well, Dad, I would say the fighters that can give Golovkin trouble are all fighters who are above the current weight that he's at. So. Not at 160, which is middleweight. I think the guys that can give him trouble are at 168 pounds. So you're looking at guys like James Degale. I would say James Degale, and then outside of Degale, probably like Sergey Kovalev, if they had a fight ever happened. Arthur Beterbiev at 175, but that's really it. There really aren't a whole lot of guys that can beat Golovkin, Dad. And I know you love Golovkin. That's like your guy. Basically like Pops. Like honestly, Golovkin, he has legitimate case to be number one, but there aren't a whole lot. He's in a class of his own. The only way he's gonna lose is if he doesn't train right or Father Time just catches up to him. Leonardo Reinhardt. Deontay Wilder beats Anthony Joshua. No, he won't. He'll get destroyed. Doesn't necessarily. Yeah, Deontay has a reluctance to get in the ring with any top level heavyweight. Like his lack of experience against top guys is going to come back to bite him in the behind. And Anthony Joshua's speed, combinations, power, and strength will just be too much for him. But hey, to each his own. You know, we haven't seen AJ in there with a puncher yet, so maybe you're right. Frederick, man, I'm a Kovalev fan. If he lost to Ward, I would just say, okay, the best man won, and I'm a fan, and I like Justice too, especially in that ultra hard sport. Yeah, Frederick, boxing is tough. It's something that these guys are taking time from their families to train. They're leaving their mind, their will, and their emotions in the ring in a lot of instances. And to see kind of like Kovalev, who's had to take the hard road to become champion, it's not cool when he doesn't get the decision. But I'm gonna say this again because I really haven't gotten any comments about it. I'm supposed to interview Adrian Granados soon. So if you guys know who that is, Adrian Granados, he's fighting Adrian Broner. Is that something you guys be interested in? I've interviewed him in the past. Like I interviewed Granados April or February, I forgot when it was. And that was a pretty fun interview. Me and Adrian Granados had built a pretty good relationship, and looking forward to him fighting Broner. Anyway, shout out to my pops. He's here. So if you guys are still there's the 7 people watching, say hi to my dad. Say hi to Nelson. I'm gonna hold on, guys. I'm gonna hit up Granados real quickly. Let's see. He called me twice too. I gotta get my phone turned off so I can call this guy back. I'm gonna tell him I'm live on Google Hangout. Yeah, keep me posted. I'd like to do one before
They never even tried the best of
your fight. Let's see. Does he think Broner will come prepared? Yeah, I'll ask him that. Does Adrian Granados think Adrian Broner will come prepared? I'm gonna have him on here, so I'm not sure when I figure out what day he's free and that we can do it. And he's tapping right now, guys. So he's gonna tell me what day he's free. He says, "Cool, for sure. Do your thing, bro." But when I find out when Adrian Granados is free, I'll definitely make a video and let you guys know. And then you guys could drop your questions in the comments, and you can come here in real time, and we'll have a good time with that. Out. Hopefully we can do it sometime this week. By the way, I probably can't make the fight because they pushed it back. What do you guys think? Do you guys think Broner is going to come prepared? Broner's been somebody in the past who, has shown the tendencies, not to come prepared. He's lost titles on the scale before. My thing is this, right? If you guys look at all of the Showtime, Al Haymon fights that got announced. Remember when all those fights for Showtime got announced? This fight was the only one that didn't have a venue, and I feel that was done intentionally for a couple of reasons. Number one, Adrian Broner gets into a lot of trouble, and it's Christmas time, so they wanted to see if he can get the Christmas stuff, getting into trouble. 2, he's had weight problems, so they wanted to give him extra time to cut the weight, and not just that. 3, they wanted to square away their venue, which was Cincinnati, and give Broner all the advantages. So between cutting the weight, giving Broner all the advantages and that stuff, it is what it is. It's boxing. But I honestly feel like it doesn't matter. Conditioning, Adrian Granados is going to be the difference in the fight. He said, "Got you, bro. All good." And yeah, that sucks, but save that money, family. Will for sure. And I'll be in Chicago in June anyway. Anyway, so I'll see you then. And you know what's funny? Because I was supposed to, be hanging out with Granados during the fight. We were supposed to do a whole bunch of interviews, but Broner push the date back. I'm actually going to be. I don't know if anybody here is lives in Las Vegas, but guys who live in the Vegas area, I'm going to be in Las Vegas in February on the 13th. I don't know how long I'm going to be there, but I plan on being there for at least a week. So if any of you guys are in the Vegas area, I'll be there for just a week. I'll be going to local gyms. I'll probably get to go to the Mayweather gym and all other gyms there. But yeah, Granados, I'm messaging him right now, and I just told him that I just told Adrian that, I can't make the fight, but, in Chicago, I'm trying to go to Chicago. I go to Chicago like every July, so I'll be in Chicago in July, and I'll probably be hanging out with Granados, so probably get some good stuff there. He said, F yeah, bro, I got you. Sorry for the French, LOL. All right, yeah. What 140-pound champions is Adrian looking at? Are you talking about Granados? I mean, if you're talking about Granados, Adrian Granados wants to fight all the guys. I mean, I talked to him on the phone a couple weeks ago. And, first of all, he wants to get to this fight, beat Broner. That will open up a lot of doors for him. He's someone who's had to earn things the hard way in boxing. And after that, I feel, honestly, I've said this for months. If he beats Broner, he should be in line for a Crawford fight. Crawford should take on Granados if he can beat Broner. As far as, anybody with a belt, I really don't see why Adrian wouldn't take the fight with anybody. He's never been someone to dunk or dodge anybody. Yeah, any questions you guys want to know? There's 9 people in here now, so shout out to 9 people that are here right now. True School Sports, we're here talking South Florida. As far as where you guys watching this from? Comment what city, country, state, wherever you're at, down below. Any questions you want to know? Any things you want to talk about? Put it down below. Hey, I got a question for you guys. This is actually a question that I've actually been meaning to ask, because at some point I'm gonna start doing this, because my channel has to go to another level. Like we have a lot of channels here in the YTBC, some talented ones. Even if I don't like their boxing opinions, we have some talented people, and the reason they're able to do a lot of things they can do is because their subscribers, donate the money to help them support the channel, so that can facilitate ideas, facilitate maybe trips or whatever the case may be, by donating money. So my question is this, guys: if I gave you guys my PayPal and put like a little PayPal button, and at the end of every video, like kind of like some of the other channels, I told you guys, you could donate some money so I could like maybe have some extra cash to get around, or even get like better software, or better computer, or better internet, or whatever the case may be. Like, would you guys do that? I'm curious. Would you guys like donate to the channel and like kind of support what I'm trying to do? Because I'm really trying to cover boxing. But times it's hard. I got a 9-to-5 job. Things are hard. So I'm curious. Would you guys support the True School Sports dream, I guess? Let me know below, because I'm gonna start doing that probably. So if you guys ever wanted to donate to the channel, like even if it's like $1, like honestly, like I'm just trying to like travel the world and cover boxing, like the world. I want to go to Vegas. I want to go to obviously I'm going to Vegas. I want to go to New York, but even just beyond America, like France, Japan, Canada. Like I met this guy at the convention, at the WBC convention from Montreal, and he knows like Lucien Boutte and Peter Biev, and he invited me to go to Montreal. But I mean Montreal, it's not cheap to go to Montreal. So like would you guys help me, like as far as like money go, like donate money to PayPal or something like that? Because like Hoop Jab does that, Dante's Boxing Nation does that, Box Eagle does that. Like I'm probably gonna do something similar to that. So if I do that, just curious to know how many of you guys would support. Let me know in the comments down below. Do you think Floyd would have survived in the Fabulous 4 era? No, absolutely not. for a couple of reasons. Number one, I don't think Floyd would be able to dictate terms, so that's number one. Number two, stylistically, if you look at the guy, the type of fighters Floyd ever fought, he never fought guys that were in their prime. He never fought long, rangy boxer punchers, and he never fought young, prime like black fighters. Like so, and that's what there were in the Fab Four days. You know, Duran was a boxer puncher. There, Duran was a boxer puncher. Hearns was a boxer puncher, prime black fighter. Same thing with a Leonard, prime black fighter. Like he didn't. Those are the kind of fighters he always avoided. So no, I don't think he would have. Shout out to Lourdes from New Hampshire. But yeah, like just that's one thing I want to know for the 8 of you that are here. Like, when I do actually start like taking donations, like for like as far as money goes, because I want like there's things I could do. I just don't have the money to do them. And travel, let me know if you guys would support something like that along those lines in the comments. Oh, let's see. If you have time, there's a 3-hour-long video on Floyd's career by Thunderdome. He explains everything. You know what's funny, Frederick? The first time, the first video I probably ever saw from Thunderdome, and it's funny because Thunderdome is my guy. Like, we're friends. We get along. We're really cool. He's helped me out in the past. That was probably the first video I ever watched, so I know exactly what video you're talking about. I believe that's the Floyd Mayweather exposed video. My dad, my dad's on a different account, which is funny. He goes on different accounts. It's hilarious. I looked at a lot of fights. To me, he was the only boxer that was aggressive and strong. I think my dad's talking about Kell Brook. So my dad apparently likes Kell Brook. See. Did you see the video of Rummy's corner on Galata? I disagree with them on a lot of points, but great video. I haven't watched Rummy's corner video in a while because Rummy is like one of those guys, like he drops videos and they're great. Like if Rummy's corner did like 2 videos a week, I believe he'd probably have the best channel on YouTube at some point. Like he'd probably become one of the top channels. He's a great channel. I hope at some point to interact with Rummy. So to answer your question, I haven't seen it, but now that you mentioned it, I'm probably going to check that out as well. So the Galata video, I'll check that out as well. Is this a $19 a month program? I don't know. Yeah, this is Lulu's account. Yeah, I know, Dad. You're in Lulu's account. But anyway, like, yeah, that's one thing, guys. Like, because honestly, like, look, I'm not trying to be cocky. I'm really not trying to be cocky. I'm like 21 years old. There isn't anybody in the YouTube boxing community as young as me, like covering boxing at this high of a level. And that's not me being cocky. That's a fact. And I know for a fact that like I'm every bit as talented as a lot of these channels that have 20,000, 50,000, 60,000 subscribers, and they know it too. They've told me that. The only difference is that they have the time. I don't have that time because I don't have the money. But if I had the money, then I was getting a certain amount of money off of this a month, and then you guys are able to like donate. I could quit what I'm doing now, which is, for those of you who don't know, I'll tell you what I do for the daytime. I work at a local pizzeria, but if I could quit, because honestly my rent's not that much. If I could quit, I could cover boxing at an even higher level than I do right now, which would be crazy. But Frederick, to answer your question, how can I give you money? Well, there really isn't a way right now. I'm going to set up a PayPal button because I have a PayPal. And then once I get that set up, you can do it that way. But if you want, here you can do this. If you want, you can send money to this email. I'm gonna type it down below. Or anybody who wants to donate to TSS and support what I have going on here, you can donate right there at that email address on PayPal. So if you go on PayPal and send to that email address, True School Sports 2012 at Gmail, it'll be that that'll work. But let's see, what else we got going on in boxing? What else we got? But like I'd probably say by 2018, I want to cover a fight in the UK. That's a goal of mine. Like I personally want to go to the UK. That's something I've always wanted to do. Any other questions, guys? It's like 7. Right now, it's like 7:07 p.m. here on the East Coast. Let's see. I got a comment. Yeah, it's 7:07 here on the East Coast. So, let's see. I do not understand why champions hold back and give rematch fighters that deserve right away. I would love to see a rematch of Ward and Kovalev again. Yeah, I'm right with you, Dad. I mean, I made videos about that fight. I've honestly made probably too many videos about that fight. But I mean, boxing's a business. Boxing is a business, and like, you know, a lot of these guys, they want things on their terms, and you know, I'm really hoping that at some point it happens. The reason would just be I would say the reason would be hey Frederick, thank you so much, man. I really appreciate you. And I appreciate like anybody. Like I don't like thank you though a lot. I really appreciate the fact that you're doing that. And like I said, anybody who wants to send any type of money to like donate to TSS and facilitate what I have going on with boxing, you know, send to that email address at the top. It's trueschoolsports2012 at gmail.com. But reversely, well, you know, Ward isn't a real champion. Nah, at 175, he's not a real champion. At 168, to be quite honest with you, like, he wasn't really that much of a real champion because he didn't fight Lucien Boutte. And a lot of people will be like, well, yeah, you know, Lucien Boutte lost to Carl Froch, but that doesn't give credence to Ward. That gives credence to Froch. You know, styles make fights, and a lot of people forget that. Like when you look at Carl Froch was a guy that not Carl Froch. Lucien Boutte was a guy that had great foot speed, great counterpuncher, mobile, athletic. He's just someone that, you know, would be a hard time. Would be a hard matchup for Ward. I'm not saying he would have beat Ward, but he would definitely give him a hard time. And he had made 8 title defenses, so he had a lot of momentum. You know. My dad asked me this. He said, "When you were at the WBC convention, did you ever find out how they can correct the judging system?" And Dad, to be honest with you, no, I did not. There were judges there. Like when I was sitting down. Or not judges. There was a ref. When I was sitting down at my table with Alex, you know Alex, Dad. There was a ref, and we talked about how they could change that. But no, there wasn't really anything that was talked about as far as judging goes. I think for me personally, what boxing should do with judging is that they should definitely, number one, get younger judges. They should pre-screen every judge, and it should be illegal at that for a judge to be from the fighter's hometown. You know, there should just be more accountability as far as how we select judges and things of that nature, right? And there isn't. So no, to answer your question, no, I didn't. The guys like Mauricio Suleiman, who are basically like, they run the WBC. Like I really had no interest in talking to Mauricio Suleiman. I know it's probably an interview I should have gotten, but I didn't have any interest in talking to him because it would have been very hard for me to stay respectful. Let's put it like that. Because I'm not really a big fan of some of the corruption that goes on. But I mean, I'll have another opportunity to talk to Suleiman. I'm not really worried about it. But yeah, Frederick, thank you a lot. Appreciate you a lot. And for the 11 people watching right now, shout out to you. Hope everything's going well. If you haven't commented yet, leave your comments about boxing, questions about boxing. We'll talk boxing for sure. Let me know. Let me know where you're watching this from. City, state, country. By the way, guys, I'm talking. It's funny because I'm doing two things at once. I'm talking to Adrian Granados right now on Facebook, and he's telling me that like, because he's from Chicago, and the fight for Adrian Broner is in Cincinnati, and Chicago and Cincinnati is like less than 5 hours apart. And he's telling me that like they're planning a takeover. Like there's going to be a lot of Chicago into the building cheering for Granados. So don't be surprised if it feels like Adrian Granados is fighting at home and not Broner. Shout out to my boy Juan Pablo watching this from Hollywood, Florida. That's been my homie since like first grade. Juan Pablo, we're gonna slowly but surely get the homie Juan Pablo into boxing. Slowly but surely. Reversely, why do some fighters like Salido and Ward take pride in cheat-based victories? That's a good question, man. I think for them, they have the mentality to where it's like win at all costs. They don't care how they win. Even if they know that they didn't win within the rules. So as long as they go on BoxRec and they see that green W next to their name, they're okay with it. And it's just a matter of winning at all costs to keep their standing in the sport. Nothing more than that. They don't have any shame. Frederick Garrido said, done. Keep up the good work, bro. Hey, thank you, Frederick. You're the first person that has donated to TSS, so I really appreciate it. And with that being said, Frederick, I hope at some point in time, like a year, maybe 2 years down the road, I get a chance to come to France, get to check out the boxing scene over there. I don't know much about the boxing scene over there, but go over there and maybe meet you one day. Or if you're ever come to the States, come to South Florida, come to Miami, I'll meet you here. Let's see. So yeah, that's what it is. Frederick said, "Ha ha ha! No boxing here." Well, Frederick, it's funny. I don't know. I don't remember the lady's name. I wish I remember her name. But when I was, because I went to the WBC convention, which is here in Florida, and I sat at this table. And at the table, we had all kinds of people who work in boxing, right? So like I'm a YouTube guy. One guy on my left was a writer. A guy on my right was like a boxing ref from Wisconsin, and to my furthermore to my left was there was this female boxer from the U.S. Not from the U.S. from France. There was a female boxer from France, who basically was like, I don't know. She said she fought on TV over there in France. I don't remember her name though. Maybe you know. Anyway, I want to go to France anyway, just because it looks dope, and like I alluded to earlier, France has some beautiful women. Maybe I'll find my future wife out there. Let's see. Miriam Lamar. I think it might have been her. I don't remember. I'm gonna Google it. I think if I Google it, I could. Miriam Lamari, or whatever how you say her name. Let's see. Miriam Lamar. Is this her? Let me see. Come on, Google. That wasn't her. The girl I saw was way finer than her. Let's see. And Sophie Mathis. And Sophie Mathis. Crap. Was this her? Nah, I don't think it was her. But I never heard of Sophie Mathis. She's cute too. I'll tell you. She seems cute in this picture I'm looking at. But anyway, let's see. My city is pretty dangerous, bro. Better go to Paris. I'm planning on going to Paris. I won't go to your city. We'll be up in Paris. We'll do. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm stereotyping, but we'll get those little snails. I don't know if those are good or not, but I always see the snails. Kui Huang. I'm not sure what. I'm not sure if I said your name right, but regards from China, big GGG fan. What's up, Kui? Regards from sunny South Florida. I'm a big GGG fan too, actually. I saw him here in person at the WBC convention because the city I live in is too far from the hotel where I was at. Frederick says, or no, Reverse Lee says Hassam Nadam in France just got the WBA interim middleweight title. Yeah, I saw he had a vicious knockout. I can't remember the guy he beat up, but I remember I saw a vicious knockout on Instagram. Shout out to Hassam Nadam doing this thing. Hopefully he can work his way back into respectability and get some big fights moving forward. This weekend, who do you think wins the rematch between Corrales and the Japanese? Who I think wins? Is that what you're asking me? If you're asking me who I think wins, to be honest, I'd probably lean towards Uchiyama. Frederick says Hassam Nadam, 5 times drop versus Quillen, 4 times versus Lemieux. Super French boxer. Yeah, I remember when Quillen was putting it on Hassam Nadam. That was like his only good win. The Endom was like, I remember Endom was getting dropped left and right, and that was like one of the first like major fights at the Barclays Center. If you guys remember, that was like when the Barclays Center first opened up in Brooklyn. I remember that being one of the first cards they had there. Charlie, what's up, Charlie? Child of the King. We're all child of the King. Shout out to Charlie. Shout out to our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Anyway, what are some fights you want to say would you want to attend in 2017? Fights that I would like to attend in 2017. Well, Charlie, if money wasn't an issue and I lived in a perfect world, I would go to the Anthony Joshua Klitschko fight at Wembley Stadium. Wembley Stadium, covering a fight there is a dream of mine. Wherever Roman Gonzalez fights, I want to go to that fight. Whenever Shannon Briggs fights, I like to go to his fight. Who else is there? Kovalev War rematch if it happens. Kell Brook versus Amir Khan if it happens. Those are a couple that comes to mind. Moreover, Endom did Olympics for Cameroon, so I do not consider this guy cocky from France anymore. Yeah, I remember he was in the Olympics. Him and Am Not Ruin Wrong, the flyweight, were in the Olympics, which is pretty funny. They did neither of them won either, which is pretty cool, funny. Let's see. Yeah, man, I can see Corrales' athleticism being too much for him, but has one great fight left at him. Oh wait, I think I forgot to answer Reverse's question. He said, "How do you think boxing can overcome the Mayweather blueprint?" And to answer your question, Reverse, how could boxing overcome the Mayweather blueprint? Well, I think it's as simple as this. I think there's got to, and the sad thing is, and look, I'm not trying to be like biased or nothing, because honestly, to be honest with you, and you could ask my best friend Paul this, who I talk boxing with all the time, every day. I really don't like most of the American fighters that are out right now. The culture of American boxing it makes me ashamed to be an American sometimes. So I think it's got to start with, in America, you're gonna have to have a fighter take the driver's seat in boxing, and have a completely different mentality. And once the fighters see the top guy in boxing fighting the best and not being a diva, they'll be less inclined to do so themselves. It's kind of like it's a ripple effect, which is why when I see Andre Ward being a diva and him saying that he's not going to fight Kovalev and retire, I get pissed off about that, because I understand what effect it'll have on boxing, especially here in America. And it has that effect. If it has that effect here, it can have that effect other places. So it's kind of like anything else. You're going to have someone come in and change his culture by their actions and their example that they set. Glad to be here as well. We are all on the same page. Yeah, man. Yeah, Kui. I'm not really sure I've ever seen you in the comments, but if you're new to the channel, I would say welcome to True School Sports. I talk boxing and try to do it the right way here. Did you notice how racism has become important in boxing recently? I mean, about the last 5 years. Um, well, I would say yeah, racism has become a lot more obvious in boxing over the last couple of years. But I wouldn't even say just in boxing. I think in the world in general, it's become a lot more open. You know, so it's more reflection on where we're at in the world more so than boxing. But yeah, I have noticed it. Um, but a lot of the racism begins and stems from and is rooted in nationalism. You know, extreme nationalism to where it's like, you don't, or tribalism, nationalism, tribalism, same thing. Um, or tribalism is probably, I don't know, it's the same thing to me. It's rooted in that, and then it's like extreme. Like you can have pride. Like I'm from South Florida, so if South Florida ever gets a top champion, I'm gonna root for the South Florida fighter. But to be extreme about it, some guys are extreme about it. If if they're black, they want the black fighter to trump everywhere else. If this was like a white fighter, they want the white fighter to go. Like, there's a lot of racism going on. And I don't see skin color. I just see, actions. I see fighters. I see people. I see skills. That's how it should be. True, boxing was about race since it begins. But if you look at like the Black channel, wow, so much hate. Yeah, man. I mean, there's a lot of channels out there that, I'm not gonna put any names out there. You guys know the channels, but yeah, there's a lot of hate, but more so it's just stuff for views and clicks and AdSense. It's nothing about really. They really don't care about boxing and making the sport grow and truly creating fans. I'm someone who's trying to be a positive in the long term health of the sport. If I can do just this much to positively affect boxing, I'm happy to do so. How can you explain so much hate on Golovkin if you're not talking about race? Well, no, you're right. To hate if you hate GGG, it stems from race. I mean, because if you took away the name, if you didn't know what he looked like, if you just said if you could look at his accomplishments and you said, well, this guy was 345 and 5 as an amateur. He was a silver medalist. He has the highest knockout percentage in middleweight history. He's on pace to break Bernard Hopkins' middleweight title defense record. And, he's trying to get every guy in the ring, and he's beaten as many top 10 guys in boxing as anybody in the last 4 to 5 years. If I just told you those facts without telling you who it was, you would say, damn, that guy's a hell of a fighter. But people get caught up in their own emotions, and they're like, oh, yeah, Golovkin is this, Golovkin is that. So, yeah, a lot of that does stem from race. I gotta agree with you on that. People are miserable, and they hate the world. They hate other skin colors. And they're just projecting their own hatred on other people. That's what it is. But yeah, as far as being a boxing fan, like a fan of the sweet science, once you really study Golovkin, you get into what he does, like the art of shifting and how he's able to neutralize his opponents. It's ridiculous. And yeah, to second what Reverse Lee's saying, I'm like, damn, that girl's fine. Just like Reverse Lee said, people who criticize Gonzalez's resume, the funniest thing is like they don't have an extensive knowledge of smaller weight classes. Like, and I pretty much illustrated that. Like, if you guys remembered, been watching the channel long enough. Boxing Ego, right? Boxing Ego had a video where he was discrediting Roman Gonzalez, and I saw it and pissed me off to the point where I made an hour-long response, and I pretty much show how I didn't know anything about the smaller weight classes. Like, it's like people like him and people who cover these channels, they don't follow small weight classes to begin with, and they try to discredit the guys who are really doing, the right things in boxing, like Roman Gonzalez. Same here in China. Fan base, I think. Some people like War type of fighter who has reality and hard to be hit, but I think technical and offensive oriented fighters. Yeah, man. Kui. Andre does have something he does well in the ring. I think he's a smart fighter. I just think like his skills have deteriorated, and like not just that, a lot of it is preference. But my thing is this: like, if people say like, "Oh, well, casual fans love knockouts and we love knockouts," then how do you not like Triple G. Like, that makes no sense because Triple G has more knockouts straight than anybody in boxing right now, I believe. Oh, reverse. I believe it was, if you guys remember, AJ Knows Boxing. Yeah, I think it was AJ Knows Boxing. He was talking about when Roman Gonzalez fought Quadras, and he was saying, like, Roman isn't fighting nobody. And Quadras was the first guy he fought, and he got a gift decision. Like, come on. That's when you know the ignorance is at all-time high. But, shout out to AJ Knows Boxing. Go subscribe to him. I still like his channel. I just don't agree with him about Roman Gonzalez. Ruben says, "What's up? Anything?" Well, first of all, let me say, "What's up, Ruben? How you doing? Where are you messaging me from, Ruben? What city? What state? Where are you from? Anybody who's here right now who has a message or said anything? What city or state are you viewing this from?" But as far as Shannon Briggs, anything on the fight? Well, last I heard, because I saw an article today on him fighting Fresno Kendo, and I interviewed Fresno Kendo at the WBC convention, and Frez himself said that he wants to fight Shannon, and that's a fight that the WBA is supposedly supposed to be ordering soon. So we'll see how that happens. There's been so many things that have been happening with the WBA and sanctioning bodies, and Shannon just has had a lot of bad luck. So hopefully, he can get his chance. But right now, until you actually hear that anything's official with Shannon, don't believe anything you hear about people being in talks or that they're ordering this. Until you hear official dates, venues, hell, TV deal, TV network, don't like believe. God dang, don't believe anything you hear. But now I haven't heard anything outside of Fresno Kendo. And shout out to Brooklyn. Hey, Ruben, shout out to you over there in Brooklyn. Thank you for watching. I went to Brooklyn in April for the first time. Went for the Algeria Spence fight. I like Brooklyn. It was cool. It was good vibes. I went to Gleason's gym, so that was pretty cool. I heard they just moved Gleason's gym, so shout out to Gleason's gym. Frederick asked me best boxer of all time. For me, it's Sugar Ray Leonard or Robinson or Roy Jones. My favorite was Roy Jones because he was so unpredictable. This is tough, man. I've always said Sugar Ray Robinson, and I'll say it because of this. Like people make such a big deal about 49-0, 51-0, being undefeated. Like this dude, Sugar Ray Robinson, he had like a 91 fight win streak. Fundamentally from a skill standpoint, he had it all: balance, footwork, timing, speed, power, just like the definition of a complete fighter. I think he's the best simply because, he challenged himself. He was active. I mean, he had to be in those days, right? And just from a skill standpoint, I don't think there was any fighter that was ever more complete than Sugar Ray. My personal opinion, but my opinion changes all the time. But right now, it's Sugar Ray. And it's funny, Frederick, I don't know if you saw this, but in September, when I went to LA, because I went to the Gonzalez Quadras fight, I actually went to Sugar Ray Robinson's grave site, which was in Inglewood, California. So if you ever get a chance to go to California, go to the grave site. It's pretty cool. You can go find the video too. If you go on my channel, hit the search bar, and type in Sugar Ray Robinson, you'll find it. Kui, skill level, Tszyu and GGG, Kovalev, and many other Eastern European fighters are better than Andre Ward. But Floyd is phenomenal. I think he's perfect with athleticism and skills combined. I gotta agree with you, Kui. That's one thing that's funny about Ward and Floyd. Like, I'm not a big Floyd fan, and I'm not a big Andre. I'm not a big Andre Ward fan, but I respect Floyd's talent. I think Floyd, without a shadow of a doubt, is an A-level fighter. A-level skills, no doubt about it. Ward to me is not. That's the clear difference between them. Is that one is an A-level fighter, one is not. So I agree with your assessment that Kasazu, GGG, and many other Eastern European fighters are better than Ward. Ward is a protected fighter with advantages. So it is what it is. Mine are possibly Hasegawa, Roman Gonzalez, Patterson, Julian Jackson, and more. You know what's funny? Hold on, guys, I'm about to sneeze. You know what's funny? Like, look, people don't understand. I'm gonna make a video about this soon, guys. People don't understand what Roman Gonzalez is doing right now. Like, he's beating a lot of really good fighters, but he's in a golden age of small fighters. And like these next 2 years, if he can get the W's over like Quadras again, Estrada again, or Inoue, it's gonna put him in rarefied air. I think he gets a legitimate argument for like top 30 to 40 best boxers of all time. What do you guys think? Zhao Shiming. As far as Zhao Shiming, I'm not a big fan of him. I think, he's a fun, cool little fighter, but nothing special. A guy who has a good amateur style, but isn't going to be a great pro. But kudos to him. He got a vacant title at flyweight when all the killers left flyweight, so he's there. He's now the money guy at flyweight, and he can have big fights in China. Well, Floyd. It's funny because if you look at Floyd as Pretty Boy Floyd and Money Mayweather, it's two different fighters. They do the same things, but they're still different fighters. Like Money Mayweather would stay in the pocket, but he would still do the pull counters, and he's doing the pull counters as a means to score to get points and not point you and win. But like Pretty Boy would do the pull counter, and he's doing it as a means to set up other combinations and knock you out. So definitely a more skilled fighter. Ward is more of like a Bernard Hopkins type, maul you inside, do the dirty tactics. Anthony Joshua Klitschko prediction. I got Joshua winning. I think it's like to me. I mean, I don't know. Klitschko, I think is going to be motivated. I don't know which Klitschko is going to show up, but I just think it's one of those fights where it's kind of a passing the torch. I think Joshua's strength, the fact that he's not a shorter guy, is going to be a huge factor because Klitschko dominates guys who are shorter than him. My only thing is Joshua has shown a tendency to gas and get hit a little bit. So my thing is when Klitschko touches him with something, how does he react? That's the only thing we don't know. But I'm picking Joshua just because I think the hand speed and youth and size are the reason why I'm picking Joshua to beat Klitschko. But I'm hoping for a great fight. Hopefully, I want it to go at least 9 rounds. I want a 9-round competitive fight at bare minimum. 8 rounds as well. So like right now, guys, we've been on Google Hangout for an hour and 32 minutes. I really appreciate you guys. Any of you guys who are watching, since I've already kind of said it, any of you guys who are watching who want to support TSS and what I got going on, you guys can donate. You can PayPal me money to True School Sports at 2012@gmail.com. I'm gonna start taking donations anyway because I'm trying to take my channel to the next level, get better editing software. I need money to travel, things like that. So if you want to donate any money, the email is right there. Hey, Quee, it was good having you on. Thank you for talking boxing with me today. I really appreciate you. Be safe over there in China. Yeah, that Joshua fight was very fun to watch. Or Dillian White versus Joshua. I enjoyed that one a lot. That was the one fight where Joshua was really tested. Like he hasn't been tested outside of that fight in any measure. Let's see. Joshua slugs Klitsch within 2 rounds, 3 rounds. Joshua's a pressure fighter. Oh well, if he does that, man, he's gonna be the biggest star in boxing. Yeah, so I got about 30 minutes, guys. It's like 7. I'll probably say around 8 o'clock. I'm probably gonna get off, get something to eat. Yep. Thank you, Charlie, for pointing that out. Thank you. Any questions, guys? And for the 10 people that are watching, if any of you haven't said anything, message me, put a comment down below where you're watching this from, city, state, country. You guys see that Carl Froch is really mad that Yeah, that's true. That's true. But I mean, being stunned is one thing, but when you're stunned, you still gotta have the composure to not get hurt further. And he showed good composure in that fight, so I gotta give him at least a little bit of credit there for having the composure. How do you rate Donnie Nietes? I rate him as a pretty good fighter. One of the better fighters in the lower weight classes. I know at one point in time that was a fight people wanted to see, or one guy Roman Gonzalez fight. So Donnie Nietes, yeah, definitely a hell of a fighter. Didn't he just fight Edgar Sosa? I'm not sure if he won, but pretty sure he fought Edgar Sosa recently. My dad just asked me, when is boxing going to give Roman Gonzalez the credit he deserved? I mean, honestly, Dad, I don't know if Roman Gonzalez will ever get the credit he deserved, because Ricardo Lopez, who went 51-0, who is one of the best boxers of all time, doesn't even get the credit he deserves. So why would Roman Gonzalez get the credit he deserves? I think he's better than Ricardo Lopez, but that's just how it is with the small weight classes. Frederick, Joshua got stunned by a guy who was about 15th ranked in the world. Waller's in good shape. I see him out jabbing Joshua. Yeah, I can see it too. I can definitely see that too. I think a lot of it is just which Klitschko that shows up. Do we get a Klitschko that's going for the gusto trying to win, or is it a Klitschko that is gun shy, not really trying to throw punches? Yeah, okay. He beat Sosa, so that's a great win. I didn't get a chance to watch the fight, but I remember when it was made. So Donnie Nietes, yeah, beast, man. I wish Roman would have fought him at some point. That's that's one of the few that he didn't fight that I would have loved to see him get in there with. Yo, but I don't know if you guys saw this. What do you guys think about? Because I was watching an interview with Carl Froch last night, and he's pretty pissed. He's like livid. He's upset that Anthony Joshua is more than likely going to break his record of 80,000 people in Wembley Stadium. The record of 80,000 people in the seats when he fought George Groves. He always mentions it every 5 seconds. He's like, when I hit George Groves on the chin in front of 80,000 people at Wembley Stadium. When he says that. What do you guys think about him getting upset about that? I actually didn't know that. The longest reigning Filipino champion. That's saying something when you got guys like Nonito Donaire and Manny Pacquiao. I didn't know that. So thank you, Reverse, for putting me on game. I didn't know that about Don Nietes. He's someone I still got to study more of, honestly. He does. But Froch, he seems to kind of hate anybody in British boxing who's doing better than him. Like, the guy has a reluctance to really like to see anybody else succeed, but hey, it is what it is. He's still someone I want to meet at some point. Any of the the UK boxers, I love the UK boxers because for the most part I haven't met a whole lot of. Yeah, it definitely is. Well, I don't know. Beating Lucien Bute was pretty good, but yeah, it probably is. It probably is his best accomplishment. But yeah, like a lot of UK boxers, I like them. As far as I haven't really interviewed a whole lot of them. Like I interviewed Bellew and Khan, and they're both pretty cool. Especially Bellew. Bellew was the man. Yeah, never liked his style, but he had good results. Hey, let me ask you a question because my dad is hitting me up in the comments. Let me ask you guys. This is another question. If I make some like True School Sports T-shirts or hats or something like that, do you would you guys buy any? Because I'm trying to raise money for the channel. Like, you can donate money to the channel also, but you can also buy some shirts. I'm gonna make some shirts. You can PayPal me money either way. But would you guys buy a TSS shirt if I made some? I've been thinking about getting shirts made for a while. Do you think? Let me know in the comments down below about the whole shirts thing. Do you think Donaire has anything left? To be honest, I mean, not at the top level. I mean, he's got gas that he could beat like lower tier guys, but no way. No way. No way. I don't think he can be the top guys anymore. I don't think he can be the top guys anymore, to be honest with you. All right, so Reverse Lee says, I would buy a TSS shirt. I think Frederick said yes of effing course. Is that what that means? Course? I don't know. Charlie says how much? I don't know. I'm thinking maybe like 20 something. I don't know. I gotta look into it, but I'm probably gonna get some shirts made soon. But yeah, I'm trying to raise money for the channel. I gotta raise money, so you can either PayPal me, which is more than fine if you want to. Hold on. You could PayPal me, which is more than fine, or you could, you know, buy a shirt. You could buy a TSS shirt. I'm not really sure how much, but once I know, I'll let you guys know. Your thoughts on King Kong Ortiz? I think he scares heavyweight at heavyweight. Now, honestly, I gotta be objective here. I love Luis Ortiz, but I gotta be objective because I've been doing my homework on Luis Ortiz, and it sucks that I'm saying this, but as far as Luis Ortiz, I think he's the most skilled heavyweight in the world with his amateur experience, his size, his power. He's like a tough matchup for anybody. I don't think a lot of guys don't want to fight him, but on the flip side, I think another reason a lot of guys don't want to fight him is that he was a heavy anabolic steroid user, and he's gotten the effects of that. So that's what it is right now. But I think he's still the most skilled heavyweight. But I think for him, he's gonna have to take. I would like to see in this fight some stricter drug testing, so that guys are on an even playing field. Ortiz. And thank you, Frederick. Yeah, when I get those shirts made, I'll definitely get ship one over to France for you. So my dad said I will call you or you call me. All right, Dad. But yeah, I'll call you, Dad. All right. It's funny, like I'm at this coffee shop and I'm just sitting here talking about boxing. I'm surprised I haven't seen anybody I know yet. Like usually when I sit here for long periods of time, I see people I know because it's not too far from where I live. Do I think Joshua is clean? Man, I really hope Joshua's clean. It'd be a real shame if he wasn't. So I don't want to say no. I don't want to say no. I don't want to think he's on steroids because he strikes me as a guy who's really focused on training, but and dedicated to his craft. But I mean, Joshua is one of those guys you just don't know. You just don't know until you take the test. So I don't know. Reverse Lee. Oh God, here we go. Thoughts on the new Povetkin news? Now I'm pretty sure you're referencing the fact that his B sample came back clean, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. His B sample came back clean from VADA or WADA. Man, everybody uses roids. Kickboxing, it's even worse. Yeah, that's true. Everybody's using steroids. But I think there are a couple guys that are clean. But yeah, as far as the Povetkin news, I think, first of all, let me say that I haven't really talked too much about it because honestly, I'm just sick of hearing about it. And honestly, when you talk about the topics in boxing that cause the most racism, it's Ward Kovalev and Povetkin. Now, as far as that, I really think he should refrain from taking anything because it seems like anything he takes is on the ban list. I also do think that there is a bit of a confirmation bias and a bias from the organizations when they do test Povetkin. Like, yeah, he used some things that were on the ban list, but his B sample did come back clean, and people kind of jumped the gun on that. So that's my opinion on that. I don't care about it too much, but it is what it is. My dad asked me, do you know which boxing brand or equipment is most popular and which one is the boxers use the most? Oh, I don't know. I think Plato Reyes, Grant, and Everlast, I think, are like the three most I see. Reverse Lee is Quadras a user? Yeah, Quadras is definitely a user because I mean I don't know if you see his back. His back has ridiculous amounts of acne. So yeah, he's definitely a user. People don't want to see Wilder fight a top heavyweight. I do. I want to see him fight a top heavyweight just so I know if he's good or not. Um, Frederick asked, best boxing channel out there. I watch Precise, Thunderdome, Sweet Science Brothers, and you. Did I miss somebody? Yes, Frederick, you missed somebody. I'm gonna put you on to somebody that you need to go watch. Go if you're in heavyweight boxing, which I assume you are, because we talked about heavyweights. The channel you need to go check out more so than any other channel is Mr. Boxing Today. Go check out Mr. Boxing Today. He's got a great channel. Another guy named here, I'll type it in here for you. Mr. Boxing Today 2. Main Man is like the most underrated channel. Main Man, I think it's about Main Man. He's underrated. Who else am I missing? Oh, Montero on boxing I like. Montero. Maxwell Bear is good. Montero on boxing. Maxwell Bear. Am I missing anybody? I don't want to leave nobody out. You know what's funny? I like, it's funny because I actually do like Travis Gotti's channel, even though he's like, because I know Travis, I met Travis, like, I don't necessarily take Travis that serious. To me, it's like for fun, it's for humor. I like Travis Gotti's channel for the most part. But let me see. Let me think of other channels, guys. Made Man, Mr. Boxing Today. Those are guys that I would recommend to anybody. Those guys are some of the best out there. God, who else is there? Hold on. Hold on, Frederick. I'm gonna keep looking for more channels because I'm subscribed to so many channels. Like I could find a lot. I could find so many. Hold on. So there's and I'm gonna give you channels that I watch all the time. And so those are no disrespect to anybody that I'm subscribed to that I don't watch all the time. I'm talking about the guys that I watch like I'm talking like religiously. So Mr. Boxing Today, Made Man, Montero on boxing. Oh, there's Arterias boxing is good. I like him. Let's see. T Street Controversy, although I like him more. I like T Street. Oh, Boxing Truth is good. Rummy's Corner is really good. Boxing Truth. We got Rummy's Corner. What else we got? Yo, just because I want you guys' personal opinion, what do you guys think about Ellie Setback? Me and Ellie Setback are cool. I'm curious. What do you guys think about ES News and Ellie Setback? Oh, my bad. I can't believe I forgot. Yeah, I mean, I disagree with Rummy on that. But for the most part, Rummy's been a pretty good YouTube channel. I like most of his I like his thing. I like his channel. Ruben Crespo said Box Ego. Yeah, Box Ego. Yeah, he's got a good channel. I'll give him his credit. I'm not a big fan of Box Ego as I used to be, so I'm not really sub to him anymore. I can't watch him no more. Yeah, Ellie gave me some great advice. Like I spent like about a couple hours with Ellie at the convention. Ellie, while I don't agree with a lot of his opinions on boxing or how he does certain things, you can't deny the man is great at what he does. And he is biased, but he's good at what he does. So he put me on game to some things, and I think it's gonna help me a lot. Have you guys ever seen? I made a video where I like destroy boxing ego because he said like Andre Ward was pound for pound #1 over Roman Gonzalez, and I picked apart every little part of his video. Like I destroyed him. I don't know if you guys have ever seen that video. But I used to be a big fan of boxing ego like back in the day. But to me, just like he's too biased now, and he's very pretentious when he talks to his subscribers. But another channel you guys need to go check out if you haven't already is my boy Shady Slim. Shady Slim's a good channel. Yeah, that video was that ether. I hit him with that straight ether. Let's see what other channels. So yeah, Shady Slim's a good channel. I'm looking for other ones. I can't think of other ones that I watch. Oh, I mean, I like Hatman's on it, so you guys don't have it. You know what? Even though she's like, even though she's kind of like, I don't know. I like Helen Yee, so you guys can go check out Helen Yee Sports. She does good interviews, and she's fine as hell. I love Helen Yee. This boxing. Oh, you know what? Go subscribe to my guy. What's his name? You guys type in. I think it's MJ Boxing. My boy DC Mike TV. He does a lot of interviews over there with Washington DC, like guys over there. He doesn't have a lot of subscribers, but go check him out. Let's see, what are other channels? I'm trying to look. What other people? I'm going through my subscriptions right now. The whole people I usually watch. Yeah, Fresh. It's funny because me and Thunderdome, we're cool. We're really cool to go with each other. Like I talk to him, I have his number on my phone. I've talked to him for hours upon hours about boxing. And so it's funny because I'm very usually when it comes to boxing, I'm always the one that's talkative. When I talk to him, it's like I just shut up for a little bit because I listen. I learn about boxing talking to him. He definitely knows his stuff. And honestly, probably between him and I would say him and Mr. Boxing Today are my two favorite YouTube channels that I watch the most. Those guys are like the best in my humble opinion. But yeah, go check out Maxwell Bear, Montero on boxing, DC Mike TV, which is under MJ Boxing. Check out check out Nordic Warrior. Shout out to my boy Nordic Warrior. Naota's another one. Yeah, Naota, Nordic Warrior is a good one. Yeah, there's a lot of talented people. It's funny because some of the people who get the least amount of like shine in the YTBC have the most talent. It's ridiculous to me. Oh, Ring IQ Boxing Talk. It's kind of like it kind of has like a cartoon feel to it, but it's really cool. Like gives you your boxing news in like a cartoon-ish way. I don't know. You gotta watch it for yourself. Shout out to Julius. Let's see. What other channels are there I'm missing? Oh, shout out to go check out Smash Boxing. Smash Boxing. That's another good one. Frederick says, "Do you watch MMA? I'm interested in Mayweather versus Frederick. No, I don't watch MMA. No knock on MMA, to each his own, but it's just not my cup of tea, really. But as far as the Mayweather McGregor fight, that's a circus, bro. Like I'm not really interested in it. McGregor probably could, as a boxer, like I applaud him wanting to get in the ring. Oh, another channel. Look, another channel you guys gotta check out, which is it's probably my top 3 to 5 channels. Go check out my boy Strictly Boxing News if you haven't already. Dude puts out amazing videos. But no, I'm not really interested in MMA, and as far as that fight, I'd rather it not happen, to be honest with you. My dad asked me, "Do you know how many famous boxing gyms there are in Florida, and which one is the most famous one in the U.S.?" Okay, well, we'll start with South Florida. We have the Heavyweight Factory. We have Canino's Boxing Gym. We have Heavy Factory, Canino's Boxing Gym. Flacco's Boxing Gym. Boca Pow, Boca Boxing Club, Fifth Street Gym. And then you go towards St. Pete, you have St. St. Pete Boxing Club. And then that's really all I know, to be honest. The most famous one out of all of them is easily Fifth Street Gym because of the Muhammad Ali Association. The best one is the Heavyweight Factory, in my opinion. Yeah, Frederick, Strictly Boxing News is really good. Really good channel. Great channel. Love what he's doing. That's one person I know. He doesn't have like social media, and he said he doesn't like to get cool people. But that's one guy I'm probably gonna hit up and maybe do some collabs with, or just get cool with on like a boxing buddy tip. Cool guy. All right, so I'm probably gonna get off in like 10 minutes, guys. So anything else you want to ask me? Anything you want to talk about? Because I got something to eat. Oh, another channel you guys need to go check out is the Fight Journal. Go check out the Fight Journal. Cool guy, good channel, smart boxing fan. Fight Journal. Yeah. Yo, what do you guys think about Chavez Jr. versus Canelo? I haven't even touched on that. Like, because Chavez Jr. and Canelo was supposedly, was rumored to happen. Canelo won't fight Triple G at 160, but he'll fight Chavez Jr. at 160. So it's just funny to me. I find it hilarious. Oh, my bad. Frederick said he's gonna go to bed. Hey, thank you, Frederick. Thank you for talking boxing with me. And thank you for supporting everything. Got great things coming up. But yeah, be safe over there in France, over there in Maricel. Is that how you say it? Anyway, do you think PEDs played a part in Arguello prior fights? Yes, the black bottle incident was definitely something that I believe helped Aaron Pryor defeat Arguello. Yeah, for sure. Well, no doubt about it. My dad said, "You have met many boxers. Which ones have you found the most humbling and good example for young people?" Tony Bellew was nice. Shannon Briggs has always been great. Holyfield's been cool. Those guys come to mind. Roman Gonzalez was, not really. I don't know. I've met so many fighters. Like, honestly, I'm kind of tired right now. So I'm having a hard time even thinking about all the guys I've met. Chavez would probably rough Canelo up. We don't know. I guess that's why we had to watch the fights. We gotta watch the fight. We don't know. Yeah, take care, Frederick. Anything else? But yeah, it's a money grab for Canelo. It's a money grab for Canelo. It's just a brand building type of fight until he gets GGG. That's the fight. That's the other fight I want to clarify. If I can get to GGG, Canelo, then I'd be happy. I'd be one. Because the thing is, it'd probably be in Dallas, and I got family in Dallas, so I could probably go see some family, cover boxing, kill two birds with one stone. It's funny. This happens every time. Every time I say I'm gonna get off of a hangout of some sorts, like the it's almost. Like I haven't had 11 people watching all time, and I have 11. I guess I'll extend it like 10 more minutes since I'm here. I'm gonna go on Boxing Reddit. Let's see what's on Boxing Reddit. Apparently, tickets to GGG versus Daniel Jacobs are selling very fast, according to Tom Loeffler. Do you think Canelo Alvarez can beat any real middleweights? That's a great question. I think of the champions, the guy that's best bet would be Billy Joe Saunders, because he looked like crap in the Akavov fight. But I think even Saunders would have a chance to outpoint him. To be honest, I'm not even sure Canelo could be Kell Brook. To be honest with you, I think Kell Brook would have a good chance against Canelo. Oh man, who do you guys got for Fighter of the Year? All right, Dad. I'll see you later. I'll talk to you later. I'll call you. This is true. Kell Brook will probably destroy Billy Joe Saunders. That would probably happen. But to answer your question, let me go look at the middleweight rankings. I'm sitting here. He maybe could be David Lemieux. I think David Lemieux would be a good fight for Canelo because David Lemieux is a straight up and down fighter, who's hittable. But even Lemieux has he's very explosive and he gets hit, but he hits Canelo anything, it's a wrap. But Canelo's gonna see his ass on the floor. That's what it's gonna be. Yo, honestly, guys, Do you think I'm crazy for thinking that Joe Smith should be Fighter of the Year? I know it's crazy. Maybe you say Frampton, maybe you say Roman, maybe Crawford, but I mean, man, Joe. It's hard for me. I think Joe Smith should be Fighter of the Year, man. I'm all for the feel good stories. And plus, the guy did knock out from Faro. He didn't knock out Bernard Hawkins. Name me a fighter who has a pair of more devastating knockouts this year than Joe Smith Jr. But I probably lean towards Roman as my Fighter of the Year. But I'm saying Joe Smith should get a serious consideration. All right, so to answer your question, could Canelo beat any real middleweights? Yes, he could definitely beat Hassan Mandam, Kurt Cedes he could beat, and potentially maybe Peter Quillen if he could overcome the size advantage. Well, to be fair, reverse, that's what Hopkins said he wanted. Hopkins said he wanted to be in a fight where people would be like, they're going to have to take you out on a stretcher. Hopkins asked for that. You can go pull up interviews. What is up with you? Ugh, I'm tired, bro. Oh, I gotta reopen this chat again because just randomly closed on me. I can't see your comments right now. Oh, I'm actually enjoying this though. I'm probably gonna do more of these. So if you guys like me kind of just doing these random boxing hangouts, let me know. I'll do more of them. I don't know how often I'll do them, but I'll do them. Do you think Jacobs had any leverage to make demands and make it a pay-per-view? Absolutely not. Jacobs had a fight with Peter Quillen last year in Brooklyn, which was built as the battle for Brooklyn, and it didn't even sell out. It did like way less views than Chocolatito's last fight against Carlos Quadras, and he had 2 fights with Sergio Moore that nobody really cared about outside of boxing fans. Even boxing fans didn't really care about it. So no, he didn't have any leverage. It was just a necessary evil because he would not get in the ring under any other circumstances outside of a pay-per-view fight with Golovkin. That's what it is. Well, guys, listen, it's been fun. I've had a lot of fun talking to you guys. I'm grateful for everybody who's watched and talked and chimed in. And, just want to say thank you for watching the channel and just talking with me and give me a chance. What I will also say is I'm going to leave the video, but like I said, I'll say it again. I'm trying to go to another level with this like YouTube thing. So like, if you want to support the channel, you could PayPal me some money at TrueSchoolSports@2012.com. I'll take any and all donations, and it'll help me move forward with what I'm trying to do. Donate to help the channel. So if you guys want to PayPal me, it'll be right here in the chat. But I'm gonna get off and tired. I got something to eat. So thank you guys for being with me, and I'll make those shirts very, very soon. All right. But yeah, thank you for breaking out with me, and as I always say, you can love me or you can hate me, but I'm just kidding. So until next time, take care, guys.